Hello and welcome back. Now we're going to continue our discussion on what you can do in order to put together a system of offers that will allow you to maximize your income and to attract the right affiliates. Now we're going to start thinking about how to structure our offer and what are our options and what are the options that are available to us and how do we figure out what it is that we are going to finally put in place in terms of our front end and our upsells and what our pricing is going to be. So you want to start thinking about what kind of offer is best for your marketplace. If you're creating something for the make money online a niche, you'll want to know that marketplace. You'll want to know what things are selling for in ClickBank. You want to know what kinds of products are hot, what kinds of products are the ones that people are talking about and that they need. You'll want to determine also, in addition to what's happening in the marketplace, regardless of your niche, you do want to start thinking about, well, what's going to be profitable for you and your affiliate partners. So you want to think about, if you want your affiliate partners to bring traffic to you, you want to think about structuring your offer in such a way that both you and your partners are going to be able to generate profit while at the same time providing maximum value to your customer. Now, there are three kinds of offers. There's the do-it-yourself offer, there's the do it with you offer, and the do it for you offer. We're going to talk about each one of those. Now, in terms of the do it yourself offer, or DIY, the buyer does it all themselves. And so they're going to get your info product, and then they're going to watch the videos. They're going to go through your documents or your PDF or listen to the audios, and then they're going to execute whatever the information tells them in order to get the result they want. So these are ideal as front-end offers. You can price them any place from $7 up to $97. If you're going to be offering a home study course, you can offer anything from $297 to $997. But basically, you are really giving the buyer the opportunity to do something themselves, to participate in their improvement, regardless of where you decide to put this. Once again, these are best as front-end offers, and they make a great introduction to your marketing funnel if you're bringing people in to what you offer for the first time. Now, you can do this in the form of ebooks or videos. Your home study course can be a combination of those. It can be audios, videos, PDFs, and anything that gives the buyer the opportunity to study on their own, whether or not they're a mobile device or on their computer, or they'll be able to print it out. Anything that they can do on their own in order to get the results they want. Now, the other kind of offer, of course, one of the other kind of offers is a DWY, which is partially between the gap between DIY, do it yourself, and done for you. It's right in there. It's doing it with the buyer. So you're assisting the buyer. Basically, you're going to have to be there. You are contributing your time to the buyer. You are helping this buyer with your presence, with your knowledge, with your with your expertise. Now, we're talking about coaching programs. So this is where the buyer gets some of your time in exchange for a fee. And you do want that fee to be substantial, because your time is worth something. And you're going to be mentoring. In some cases, you're going to be mentoring a group of buyers. Other cases, you're going to be mentoring the buyer one-on-one. It can be structured in any way, once again, that makes it the most sense. It's consistent with the market, consistent with your product, and provides value to the customer. You can do consultations. So you can meet with them in effect one time, or you can include a consultation as part of your product. And basically what you're doing is you're really giving your buyer a head start. You are working with them until they are ready to start the process. You're not doing the entire thing with them, but you're really getting them started by consulting with them at the beginning. And this is one of the products that you'll want to consider using as an upsell. You don't want to structure this at the beginning. You don't want this to be the introduction to what it is you offer and to your products and services. And in general, since this is your time, you don't even want to start the conversation at less than $97. And even that can be a little low for an actual coaching program where you are contributing your time. Now, the other aspect, the other thing, that the other way of thinking about how to structure your product is DFY. Okay, and this is the ultimate offer for the buyer. And what you're doing is you are really basically working with a buyer that's either too lazy or too busy to execute your information. You're going to do it for them. I mean, you're going to take the entire package. You're going to take the entire method, whatever it is that you're showing them how to do. You're going to do it for them. They're not going to have to think about putting it in place. You are going to execute the offer. And this is great as one of the upsells because they've already shown an interest. That they understand the concept. They understand your front end offer, whether that's internet marketing or some other niche. If they understand, then if you have a buyer that once again is willing to invest in the best possible start, they will be open then to spending a high ticket or a large amount in order to have it done for them. You are removing the hurdles totally. So there's not going to be any reason that this person is not going to be successful because you're going to do it for them. And typically, this is probably not going to be a product. This is going to be a service. So you're going to offer them a service. You're going to undertake it for them. And when they are, when you have completed, they're going to be either done with what it is that they want in terms of result, or well on their way and would not have been able to do so otherwise. Now, what are some examples of how you might do this? Well, you might consider a custom product creation service inside of internet marketing. So once you have shown an individual how to create a product, well, they may not want to do it themselves. They may not want to go and put together all that it takes in order to create a product. Well, you do it for them, or you put together a team that actually does it for them. You can actually advertise with them for them on email. So instead of them writing emails, instead of them figuring out what the copy is, you actually do it, or you have your team do it, and they don't have to do the actual work. They don't have to figure out what the tutorials mean for their business. You actually do that for them. And once again, you're going to charge them for this. You're going to charge them significantly for this. Joint venture brokering. So you have new marketers, and they are a little shy, or they don't know anyone, and they're fairly new, and they don't have the opportunity to go and get joint venture partners. They don't have the opportunity, or they don't really have the relationships in place to get significant affiliates. Well, you're going to do this for them. You're going to understand what their product is. You're going to understand, and you're going to bridge the gap. You're going to leverage your relationships for that person. They're going to pay you a fee, and you're going to leverage your relationships and bring JVs to the table for their offer. And you can actually, in some cases, what's the most difficult thing for new marketers to do is to build a list. And once you understand how to build a list, instead of teaching them only, right, once they understand the value of it, once they understand how it's going to take place, you can actually build the list for them. So these are the kinds of things that you can offer, right? You can actually put together an entire business in a box for them. So you build the entire website, and you put together the product funnel, and you put together the email. So all they've got to do really is just plug in, or just pay you, or watch their statistics, and they're going to start profiting. So DFY is the ultimate offer for the buyer, and it's probably going to be the most expensive, but it is one that really does provide great value to them. Now, in terms of unlimited product ideas, you want to start thinking about how you're going to be able to generate product ideas. And there are a couple of different ways in order to think about this. Now, one of the first things that you can do inside of the forums where your niche is, you want to look at all of the threads that recur. In other words, what are the questions that people are asking over and over and over again? Because obviously, even if they're getting answers, they're not satisfied with the answers that they're getting. They're not satisfied that they know how to execute whatever the advice is. anything that indicates renewed interest. So in other words, think about broad topics within marketing or within the internet world. When you think about ClickBank or Amazon or Facebook or WordPress, anytime that there's a major change in a mainstream trend inside of internet marketing in particular, then there's going to be renewed interest. Well, what does this mean to WordPress? What does this mean to those of us who do business on Amazon or Amazon Kindle? What does this mean for those of us who do business on Facebook? That's a great product subject, and that's a great way to create a product, because now that there's been a significant change, Facebook changes the rules or Google changes the rules, you now can inform them. You can inform your new buyers of what it is they need to do in order to either profit or protect themselves. Now, what you're going to do is inside of any niche form, this is going to be the case whether or not it's internet marketing or any other form. You're going to go inside of the form, okay, and you're going to start looking for recurring topics. And if you have any reservations about, well, how do you do that? Well, you simply go to Google and you type in the name of your niche and online forums, and you start looking inside of the forums based on your subject, based on the online forum search, and you're looking for those recurring topics inside of that forum. So in continuing, our discussion on generating unlimited product ideas, well, one of the things that you can do is you can subscribe to mailing lists for key leaders. You want to start thinking about, and we talked about this at the beginning, what products are or have been popular over the last few months. You're looking for the kind of products that basically identify desperate buyers. These are people who need to have a problem solved, and they buy product after product until they get the answer. Now, you're going to want to go to the homepage of YouTube, because YouTube is the second most searched search engine in the world. And where at one time you might have used a site like eZine Articles or perhaps some other article marketing directory, YouTube really is a place where people are seeking information and where people are sharing information. And while it can be a social network, it is a place where it will give you what people are searching for just by going to their search bar and looking to see what kind of videos are being created and what kind of videos people are watching. Now, when you go through this process, you still just don't want to go and rush out there to create a product. The most important thing is to brainstorm a number of different ideas. Brainstorm 20 to 30 to 40 ideas based on the criteria that we talked about, and then start thinking about which one is going to make you the most money with your partners, which one is going to be a hit in the marketplace, which one is going to provide the customer with the most value. And once again, we return to this question. Do you want to stick with solely digital products, or do you want to incorporate physical products? Some marketers will incorporate physical products by taking the digital product or taking all the digital files, putting them on a hard drive, and mailing them out physically to the buyer based on the fact that the perceived value is going to be higher because they're getting a physical product. Now, once again, if you're just starting out, this is a more complex. It's a more involved process, and it's one where you're going to need some support. It's going to need some help. And if you have a big selling product, you have a high ticket product, it may be a little difficult to navigate all those issues, provide the level of customer satisfaction that they expect, and provide digital products. So in the end, it's always going to be best to stick with a digital product and to deliver that product on time, automatically, every time. Once again, as you get more advanced and you understand how the whole process works, adding in or incorporating a physical product can be beneficial. So now, what are you going to call your product now that we're thinking about this? One of the things to think about is the way you name the product, or what you actually call it, matters to the customer. Right? You can call your product a blueprint. Once again, don't call it an ebook. Call it a program. consider calling it a digital report or a confidential report, a special report. These are all names that you can consider delivering to your buyer, a guide or a course or tutorials. See, all of these things really give your buyer the increased perception or a perception of increased value. And this is kind of what you want to think through again as you start to narrow down what it is you're going to deliver and how you're going to deliver it. Now, when you put together the final process, you are putting together a system of products. You're putting together a system of products that are going to give your buyers value. They're going to give your affiliates an incentive to want to promote for you. And so understanding the market is important. Understanding what is going to sell is important. And you want to gather as much information as you can in order to do that. Once you understand that, do your research, put your products together, and then head straight to the next stage of the process, which is actually physically putting the product together. We're going to be talking about that for the rest of the course. So now you should have an overview. You have an idea of how to go about determining what your product is going to be. You should know and have all of the foundational elements in place. You understand what it is you're going to want to accomplish in this process. So now what we want to do is we want to now go through the process step by step of putting the product in order and getting it out for sale. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video.